After an explosive first event with a surprise winner, we are back with the Gravitrax Pursuit, the second event of the Team Quadrilla Marble League in Season 3. This event has only been seen once before, in Event 1 of Season 2, won by the defending champions, the Slime Balls. But the Slime Balls also had won the sprint. They only placed a lowly 14th this season, so we'll see how they do here. The Bauble Squad came away with the gold medal in the sprint. Then it's the Red Lotus and the Yellow Lotus making up the other podium places, Majestic Melons and Icicles rounding out the top 5. We have some of those teams in that top 5 that weren't in Season 2. Icicles, rookies in the A-Division. But now, in Heat 1, Bauble Squad, Shadow Riders, Green Lotus, and the Poison Ivy. So it's seeded with 1st, 8th, 9th, and 16th in the championship. And it's Green Lotus with a good start. Poison Ivy's also up there, and Poison Ivy will get 1st. And it's the Shadow Riders in the back. I don't think the Shadow Riders had a very good run there. Bauble Squad also are championship leaders with the gold in the first event. They have a couple up there, but a couple also stalling in the back. So Venom does get the win, followed by Jewel of the Bauble Squad. And it's the Green Lotus. Green Lotus actually have a lot. Quite up there, just 11th is their worst marble. That puts them in advancement in a tie with the Poison Ivy. Bauble Squad is knocked out, and the Shadow Riders. Now, in Heat 2, Red Lotus, Hazelnuts, Aquamarines, and the Valley Dashers. Only the Valley Dashers have done this event before because the other 3 weren't in the A-Division last season. We'll see how they do here. 3 of the Valley Dashers up there, that experience brewing dividends. Red Lotus also up there. I think Aquamarines had a terrible time. Hazelnuts, I think, had a decent run. But look at this, 3 of the Valley Dashers, and I think 1 Red Lotus splits them, but then, still, I think the Valley Dashers almost have guaranteed advancement. Gorge, Ravine, and Valley in the top 4. Hazelnuts have 2 in 5th and 6th, but also 2 fairly down. Red Lotus, nice consistent run, and that puts them in advancement like their Lotus rivals. Valley Dashers and the Red Lotus are going to be moving on. Hazelnuts and the Aquamarines, who had a terrible time, not. Now, in Heat 3, Yellow Lotus, Team Atlantic, Efficient Eggs, and the Slime Balls. We have the home team, Team Atlantic, and the defending winners of this event, the Slime Balls, in this heat. The Efficient Eggs, good start. Yellow Lotus up there, and Efficient Eggs will get across the line first. Team Atlantic, I think, were fairly up there as well. The Slime Balls, I don't think they'll be able to match what they did in this event last season, but it is pretty close. They actually had 2 of them. Not too bad, actually. They'll be in the top half for sure. It's going to be very close. Efficient Eggs will get the win. Then it's Team Atlantic, Yellow Lotus, and the Slime Balls, the top 4, made up of all 4 teams. I have no idea who's going to move on. It's going to be Team Atlantic and Efficient Eggs. But look at the scores. 33, 32, 28, and 27. That is an incredibly close heat. Now in the final heat, Majestic Melons, Icicles, Celestials, and the Deep Divers. Celestials and the Icicles have not done this event before. They were in the B Division last season. Majestic Melons also have changed their lineup, coming in Watermelon instead of Muskmelon. But it is the Deep Divers that have 2 of them in the top 3. Celestial also up there, but I think only one of the Celestials were even close to the top. The rest of them were in the back. The Majestic Melons, after last place in this event last season, they are not going to do very well either. The Deep Divers, 2 of them in the top 3, the other 2 in 8th and 9th, they are surely moving on. Icicles also, fairly consistent. Celestials, 3 of them in the bottom 4, and that means Celestials place even worse. They're the Majestic Melons, Deep Divers, and Icicles moving on. Now, Hazelnuts will get the best of the rest with a 30. Now, that is the mark to beat, really. 30 is like the average score. So, unfortunate for the Hazelnuts to not move on, but they down to the Aquamarines. 9th to 16th in that order. Now, in semifinal A, Poison Ivy, Red Lotus, Team Atlantic, and the Icicles. Now, Team Atlantic wasn't able to come away with the gold in the first event, but can they do it here? Icicles have 2 up in the front, then Poison Ivy, a trifecta up there, and the Poison Ivy, I think, are surely going to be moving on. That was a great second half of the course for them. And I think the Red Lotus also didn't have it too bad of a run. They had 3 of them about in the middle, but then they get swarmed by the rest of the field. Team Atlantic, not a good time for them. I don't think they're going to be moving on. Poison Ivy, 3 of them in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The other one in 12, that's not too bad either. So the Poison Ivy, with the 43, are moving on along with the Icicles. Consistency for the Icicles allows them to move to the final. Now, in semifinal B, Green Lotus, Valley Dashers, Efficient Eggs, and the Deep Divers. Now, we've seen a couple of teams get 43, which is a very good score, but the Efficient Eggs actually have the record from Season 2 with a 45. We'll see if anyone can be that. Green Lotus, one of them, very quick, no one can catch them, but the rest of them, I think it's going to be very close between all four of the teams. A good start from the Deep Divers and the Green Lotus. Then the Valley Dashers decide they want to join in. The Efficient Eggs also have a couple of them up into the front. Green Lotus, despite getting the win, they also get one in the back. It's going to be incredibly close. Once again, I have absolutely no idea who is moving on here. It's going to be the Green Lotus and the Valley Dashers. Now, I mentioned the previous one was close in Heat 3, but look at this, 32, 30, 30, and 28. And so the Efficient Eggs, based on the tiebreaker, they don't move on. Deep Divers also just barely do not move on, so those will get 5th and 6th. But now, on to the final. Poison Ivy, Valley Dashers, Icicles, and the Green Lotus. None of the podium from Event 1 is here in the final, so we'll have an entirely new podium. But who will claim the gold? Green Lotus have 3 of them in the front, and they will finish there. Green Lotus, this is looking incredible for them. Valley Dashers, also fairly up there. Poison Ivy, I think, had a decent run too. Icicles, pretty varied, but look at this. Green Lotus, 2 of them finishing, and then 1 of them getting close to a Poison Ivy, but then they still hold on for 3rd. Poison Ivy will get a 4th, 8th, 13th, and 14th, not very consistent. Valley Dashers, 5th, 6th, and 9th. That is looking pretty good for them. Icicles, not as good. So it is, unsurprisingly, Green Lotus with the win in the final. Despite getting 1 straggler, they do get a great score of 42, and the Green Lotus get the win, and it is the first time a Lotus team has stood on the top step of the podium since Season 1 relay race. Back to the Red Lotus getting the win there. And the Green Lotus, last time they stood atop the podium was Season 1 obstacle race, which was Event 8. Valley Dashers, great job to them to tie their best result in the A-Division, and the Poison Ivy, great recovery after a goose egg in the first event. But the Green Lotus are the championship leaders, rising up 8 spots into first bubble squad. Not too bad of an event. They hold 2nd place, and it's the Red Lotus Icicles, very consistent without a podium, in 4th. Valley Dashers jumping 10 into 5th, and it's the Yellow Lotus and our host Team Atlantic in 7th. The next event will be the Gravitrax Pursuit for the B Division, which will be the first event for the B Division, and then Balancing for the A Division.